Welcome back to the deep dive. We're diving into a fresh stack today.
Yeah, we've got the Grok Trade Market Summary from May 22nd, 2025.
Right. And our mission, as always, is to unpack this, pull out the key insights for you. Okay, let's jump in then. Where should we start? Traditional markets.
Sounds good. Let's look at the stock market snapshot from Grok Trade for today, the 22nd.
Okay, so the major indices. Looks like a pretty quiet day, actually.
Yeah, the summary says S&P 500, the Dow, Russell 2000, all basically flat.
Just kind of holding steady there.
Which, maybe isn't too surprising given some of the economic cross-currents we'll get into.
But the NASDAQ, it did manage a little something.
A modest gain, yeah. Up about 0.2%. Not huge, but green.
And the report makes a good point. A flat day like this lets us, zero in on specific stocks.
Exactly. And one they highlight is Apple.
Right.
AAPL.
Right. And this is where things get interesting, the divergence.
Grok Trade points out Apple's actually been in a bit of a downtrend since the start of 2025.
Yeah, I remember us noting its weakness. It hasn't bounced back as strongly as, say, the NASDAQ or even the S&P 500 from those lows back in early April.
Technically, the chart looks heavy. It's dipped below its 50-day moving average, and it's still pretty far from its 200-day. Seems like it's, struggling to find its footing.
The summary had that funny analogy, didn't it? That Jonah Hill quote.
Oh, yeah, the Michael Scott line. Sometimes I'll start a sentence, and I don't even know where it's going. I just hope I find it along the way.
Yeah. Feels a bit like Apple's stock chart at the moment. Just drifting.
It really does capture it. And Grok Trade stresses why this matters, watching Apple relative to the indices.
Okay, so why is that significant? A big stock like Apple lagging.
Well, because these mega caps, they have a huge weight in the indices, right?
Yeah.
Especially the S&P and NASDAQ.
Sure.
So if a major component like Apple is weak while the overall index is trying to recover, that divergence, it could be a warning sign.
Like a canary in the coal mine sort of thing.
Exactly. Suggesting maybe some underlying weakness the summary thinks we should keep an eye on.
Okay, that makes sense. So let's connect that sort of muted index action to the economy. Grok Trade links the flatness today to mixed signals.
Right. We got the S&P Global PMI surveys today. And on the surface, they look pretty good, showing solid strength in the U.S. economy. Both manufacturing and services PMIs came in at 52.3.
Okay, 52.3. And that's better than expected.
Definitely. Expectations were lower, around 49.9 for manufacturing and 51.0 for services. So business activity is expanding faster than people thought.
It sounds positive, but there's a but, isn't there?
There is. Grok Trade flags a concern. Rising prices potentially linked to tariffs. That could, dampen the optimism a bit.
Okay, tariffs leading to rising prices. How does that connection work exactly in these surveys?
Well, if tariffs increase the cost of imported goods for businesses, they often pass those higher costs along. So you see prices for goods and services ticking up across the economy. That might be what's showing up in the price components of the PMI data.
Got it. So policy impacts filtering through. And speaking of policy, we also heard from the Fed today.
Yeah, CNBC reported comments from Governor Christopher Waller. He suggested the Fed might look at lowering interest rates later this year.
Oh, interesting. But with a condition.
Right. He indicated it depends on getting more clarity on fiscal and trade policy effects first. So rates are still data and policy dependent.
Okay. And Grok Trade puts this in a broader context, right? Investors waiting.
Waiting for clarity, yeah. On the economic policies under President Trump's administration, the report notes there's optimism about growth.
Despite those tariff concerns we just mentioned.
Exactly. So you've got this tension, strong business activity, yes, but also these potential headwinds from trade, plus uncertainty about future policy.
That could definitely explain why the market's kind of treading water today. A lot to digest.
For sure.
All right, let's shift gears then. Away from traditional stocks, what about crypto and metals? The picture looked quite different there today, didn't it?
Oh, absolutely. According to the Grok Trade crypto desk, Bitcoin just kept going.
Another rally.
Yep, climbed another 1.4% today.
Yeah.
And actually hit new all-time highs.
Wow, new highs. And Ethereum.
Also impressive. Added 3.7% today. Strong moves in both.
It really just hammers home what we've been saying for the past month or so, right? You can't ignore crypto.
You really can't sleep on it. It'll take off without you, seems like. Especially when the S&P is just sitting flat.
So, Bitcoin at new highs. What's the thinking there now? Grok Trade raises a question.
Yeah, the key question is, what happens next? Does hitting this new high bring in more buyers, fuel more momentum? Or are people who've had a good run ready to take some profits off the table? That's the big unknown right now. Definitely something to watch closely.
Okay. And while crypto was rallying, precious metals went the other way.
They did. Gold pulled back, down about 0.8%.
How's it looking technically?
The summary says it's still kind of range-bound, hovering around its 20-day moving average, like it's building energy, maybe for a breakout.
Okay. And didn't we talk about a support level last week?
We did. The 50-day moving average provided support last Friday. That's still a key level to watch underneath.
And silver, also down.
Yeah, silver pulled back more, 1.57% today.
But it found some support.
It bounced off its 50-day moving average today. But the key thing Grok Trade highlights is that it's still struggling with resistance.
That $30.60 level on SLV.
Exactly. It just can't seem to break decisively above it yet. That remains the critical level to watch for silver.
Okay, so let's piece this all together. We've got sideways traditional markets, a weak Apple, mixed economic data with policy questions.
And then strong crypto momentum, but metals pulling back to test key levels.
It's quite a mix. And Grok Trade's take is navigating this requires precision.
Precision and discipline, yeah. It's not a market where you can just, buy anything and expect it to go up right now.
And the report mentions that Grok Trade offers a mentorship program for this kind of environment.
Right. The source material mentions their program brings together their expertise over 40 years combined, apparently. Offers coaching, strategies, technical analysis training.
All focused on risk management, finding good setups, that kind of thing.
Basically, helping traders develop a clear approach for when the market's giving off these mixed signals. Helps recoup investment and trade with confidence, according to the source.
Makes sense. You need a plan in markets like these.
Definitely.
So let's synthesize the key takeaways now from today's Grok Trade summary.
Okay, big picture. Major indices flat, NASDAQ, small gain, Apple, noticeable weakness. That divergence is key.
On the economy, strong PMI numbers showing business activity is up.
But tempered by worries about rising prices, maybe linked to tariffs, and general uncertainty about future economic policy.
The Fed, watching closely. Waller hinted at rate cuts maybe later this year, but only once policy effects are clearer.
And then the other side of the market. Crypto, particularly Bitcoin, hitting new highs. Real momentum there.
While gold and silver consolidated, pulling back to test those important support and resistance levels we've been tracking.
So why does this matter for you, the listener? Well, understanding that Apple divergence, seeing how economic data and policy talk connect to market mood.
And keeping a very close eye on those technical levels in crypto and metals, plus the broader policy developments. It all fits together.
It's the latest chapter, isn't it, in this market story we have been following.
Exactly.